So how is everyone? I hope you're all well. So, got the lights back on today. It was close, but the lights just pipped it. So yeah, we got the lights back on. Look, but anyway, let's crack on. Let's get to the point. So I weren't going to do this video. We've been talking about, obviously, the Keily Rodni case and Adventures with Purpose. And the fact that, look, no matter what these guys do, it just doesn't seem to be right. They just can't seem to do right by people. Now, they went out there, they went onto this lake, and they found Keily. So let's put it into perspective. If it wasn't for Adventures with Purpose, Keily would likely still be in that water. Very, very likely. Because up to the point that this team were requested to come in, predominantly by the supporters of them on this platform, law enforcement had said that that had been searched and cleared. We've spoke before about how even when Adventures with Purpose turned up, law enforcement said that there was no need to search that area. It had been done, signed off, sealed and delivered. Divers in the water. It was clear. But it weren't, was it? Wasn't clear. Wasn't clear at all. And you can make every excuse under the sun. You were wrong. Law enforcement were wrong. And Keily was in that water. Now, she weren't in 100 feet of water or 150 feet of water. She hadn't been there for years and years and years. She had been in there for weeks. She was in 14 feet of water. 14 feet of water, approximately. And law enforcement failed to find her. But not only did they fail to find her, they said that they had searched and that the area was clear. So it brings into another question, and that is, look, how much can we now trust law enforcement? In a scenario like this, if it happens in the future, or another case, heaven forbid something like this happens, what are you going to think? What are we all going to think? Are we going to trust that that has been searched and that has been cleared? And if they rule that it is in fact an abduction, and we go down the route of spending 12, 18, 2 years plus looking for someone and putting posters out there and seeing whether you can see this person who's missing and pleading, and the family's being dragged through everything. It's private investigators giving them hope, saying they're looking and checking new avenues. They've got tips coming in. They've been given some advice and they're going to follow up on it. I just need a few $100 to cover expenses. What this is doing, all this hatred and the finger pointing at Adventures with Purpose, is just making them think, well, why do I bother? Why do we bother? This is why we don't get involved in these cases. There is too much emotion around these cases, and you will get attacked for you yourself having emotion, having feelings. They are not robots. People are turning around and saying that they said that this was Jagger, and they've come out recently and said we didn't. At no point did we say it was Jagger, and that's not even right. They're turning around and saying, well, you kind of did without saying his name, but it wasn't even them. It was somebody else given. I said this in a video yesterday. You know, it was another person giving an interview based on a situation that he had had himself, and he... There you go. What can I say about it? You know what I'm talking about. I've covered it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and have a look at some other videos. But that isn't their fault. This interview happened in their preliminary checks and interviews around the area before they actually went onto the water. And then you wonder why, when Nick goes down and he finds Keily right in the back of that vehicle, why he's going to think that's suspicious. What? Because they've been told that somebody had dealt with some kids matching descriptions of the people around Keily in the vehicle that he believed was Kylie's. He then goes down into the water that they've been told not to check. the vehicle's got 2 windows open, and this young girl is right in the back of the vehicle. And look, I still stand by the fact that I find it hard to think about the mechanics of it and how she would have got right into the back. I find it difficult. When you look at these vehicles and you look at the space over the top of those headrests and in there and in the actual boot itself, it's a difficult one to swallow. And I'm not saying it's completely unheard of. And look, we hear stories of where these dive teams have found people in the back. But is it this style of vehicle? Is it in this environment? Is it with all these other things attached to it that we see? No, it's not, because each case is different. You know, it's like people think, well, if a car goes in the water, everything's the same, and it's not. But what this video is about is adventures with purpose. They have a purpose, and their purpose is to earn money through their media to purchase equipment and everything they need to go out and provide a free service to families, to bring them answers and bring their loved ones home. And who are anybody to criticise how they do that? Every single channel in this niche will be talking about these cases. We will be speculating on different elements of it. And at times it will mean that we will bring people into focus and say, look, are these people guilty? Look at what they're doing. We will pick them apart. And people will be praised for it. The channels will have huge support for doing so. But then Adventures with Purpose, they're attacked for being human. Attacked for being human while they provided a service that was free to the family and provided them an answer that they perhaps would not have got and could have potentially cost them more money, certainly more hurt and heartache over the upcoming months, especially when we see some of the sharks that are swimming around this family. And we know what their narrative was and what it still continues to be. You can see how much of a bee in their bonnet they have because those chances that they would have been severed at the neck. So I ask everybody who is saying something negative about Adventures with Purpose, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Because whenever you're saying something and you're attacking Adventures with Purpose, your purpose is obviously to try to stop them from doing this again. And it will work. It will eventually work because it will be more damaging to them to help when they're put through the ringer for doing so. So is that what you want your purpose to be? You want to remove this chance. You wanted Kylie to remain in that water. You wanted these people to just simply do their job, don't have any emotions, keep your mouth shut. That's some arrogance right there, I'm telling you. Some real arrogance. We're seeing everybody around this case with some form of motive. We've got the mum who was telling people to mind their own business, but yet she's got a hand out asking for money. We've got the kids around there who was pushing hard this narrative that she was abducted. But yet they left her there. And now we've got them coming out and hiding who they are and having discussions about pushing a narrative of blame onto Kylie herself. That's their purpose, to make it look like Kylie was in a situation that she placed herself in and there was a repercussion to that. I don't know. All I know is this with Adventures with Purpose and how people are attacking them is wrong. It is wrong. And this will be the last time that I address this specific situation because it's upsetting. It's upsetting to me. It's upsetting to a lot of people out there, because I just think if you remove people like this team out of the equation, what is the repercussion to that? Because I'll tell you now, the repercussion to removing teams like Adventures with Purpose from situations like this is far, far worse than someone speculating and having opinion and being human. People are not robots, and you can't expect them to be. And if you're upset about people being speculated upon on this platform, then you're in the wrong place. If you're upset because there are people who are making a living doing videos to bring information about cases and occasionally over dramatizing things, extrapolating things, then again you're in the wrong place. That's what media is all about, and I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. But Adventures with Purpose are not the bad guys here. They're not the bad guys, and the sooner people realise it, the better. I'll catch you all in the next one.